Hare Krishna. Welcome to our little discussion on today's topic of cancer. When the diagnosis of cancer hits us. The reason why I would like to share some little insights and realizations on this topic is that it is not even 1 week ago that once again I had to undergo a little cancer surgery here in Bhaktivedanta Hospital. And this was the second time around. Maybe some of you who know me, 10 years ago I was facing the similar challenge also here in Bhaktivedanta Hospital. And I thought, let me share some personal experiences, because very often when a person speaks from personal experience, it actually has a deeper effect on people's hearts and minds than simply speaking philosophy and quoting verses. And as we all know, this cancer diagnosis is becoming very, very common these days amongst devotees, amongst non-devotees. So many devotees leave their bodies with that diagnosis of cancer. And yes, it is a very commonly faced challenge these days. And with my little presentation, I simply want to try and inspire devotees to understand that actually even such a calamity as the diagnosis of cancer can be turned around and transformed into an opportunity. Opportunity for deepening our Krishna consciousness, opportunity for deepening our faith in Krishna, and actually to get some purification and realization. So to begin with, let me just share how I received this transcendental adventure of this diagnosis. Like 10 years ago, I mean, I actually dare say that according to my normal karma, I probably would have been already dead and gone. And I see things in such a way that Krishna is somehow interfering. He's somehow always coming at the right time and pulling me out of my usual schedule and interfering with things, maybe just to give me a little bit more time here to get some deeper purification. So 10 years ago, it was exactly April 2007. I happened to be in India, and I had 1 more week before I was scheduled to fly to Europe. And I was thinking to myself, what should I do in this 1 week? And then I thought, all right, let me visit Chaupadi temple, Radha Gopinath temple in Chaupadi. And then I was there and I thought, all right, let me visit Bhaktivedanta Hospital. I had heard always so many nice things about it. And then I thought, well, now I'm here, so I might as well do a little checkup. No harm. And 2 days later, I found myself on the operating table, because immediately the doctors could detect some little cancer there, and immediately I was advised to have surgery. And I saw it all really as Krishna's arrangement, so much so that I didn't even consider to get a second opinion. I could really see how Krishna was catching me and pulling me in there, because if I had not done that checkup, I would have just gone on to my tour around Ukraine and so many places. And once I'm on my tour, I usually don't think about these things. I don't even have time to wait for the result of checkups. So if I had not visited Chaupadi, and if I had not had that somehow that intuition let me do a little checkup, there would have been a good chance that I would have noticed this far too late. So 10 years ago, I actually was almost for a whole year out of action, more or less. So I had surgery here in Bhaktivedanta Hospital, then and there was some little complications, so the whole healing process was a little delayed. And then I went to Australia and did chemo. And in between chemotherapies, I was visiting different temples in Australia and New Zealand, did some preaching, visited devotees, and. So, but this whole experience, I really want to say, I would not want to miss it, because it was really having a very deep impact on my spiritual practice. All of a sudden, my main realization actually was that all these things which are now so important to us, when we stand a little closer to the edge, when we are a little closer to facing death, all these so important things, all of a sudden they have no significance. There's no shelter, nothing. All of a sudden they become completely unimportant. And the only thing which really matters at that moment is my relationship with Krishna, nothing else. So that experience I had very clearly. There's a nice saying also in the Bhagavatam, I think. A person who is just about to leave this world, his only wealth is religion. Religion meaning my relationship with Krishna. That's a person's only wealth who is just about to leave this world. And that realization I had very clearly. So that really transformed my whole spiritual practice immensely. That was one experience I had. And the other one was, because especially as traveling preacher, I have already all my flights booked for the, 2 or 3 months ahead, all my schedule planned for 6 months ahead, so many plans there, and then all of a sudden Krishna interferes, and you just have to let go of all your plans. So that's a very healthy exercise, because naturally we are attached to our plans, because they give us some little satisfaction, some little enjoyment. So, and then to just let it all go and say, okay, Krishna, you have your plans, let me let go of my plans and simply accept your plans. That is such a healthy exercise. And simply having this mood of putting myself in Krishna's hands. And when we do that, that actually gives true shelter. That gives such peace of mind. I remember 10 years ago when I entered the surgery, I was almost shocked myself how I can be so peaceful yet entering a cancer surgery. I was completely relaxed, completely peaceful. And that came about because of this meditation of saying, okay, Krishna, I am yours. Whatever you want to do with me, I'm ready. Simply letting go of our plans. That gives true peace. If we hang on to our plans and we beg Krishna and pray, oh please Krishna, maybe it's not cancer and maybe I can still go here and there, then there will not be that peace, because we are actually not taking shelter. We are only taking truly shelter if we are willing to let go of our plans and we are ready to accept whatever Krishna has planned for us. So that was my second deep realization I had 10 years ago. So, and well, now 10 years later, 10 years ago I was 48, so now 58. It was much easier to let go of my plans. It took me only, a couple of hours to digest, okay, so now I have to cancel all these flights, now I have to notify all the devotees in this place and in that place, I will not be able to come, I'm sorry. So it was not so difficult really, not so difficult, because second time around, you know, you have already a little bit of practice. You remember, okay, here we go again. But I immediately thought, wow, thank you, Krishna, for giving me this reminder. At least every 10 years, it's good to get a solid reminder. Time is ticking, time is running out. Sooner or later, it's time to go. You have to get ready. Because let us be clear in that. Sooner or later, we all have to leave, whether with cancer, whether without cancer. No, we all have to go. It's not that, oh, now I have cancer, unfortunately, I will not be able to hang around forever like all the others who don't have cancer. No, we all have to leave. Doesn't matter with cancer or without cancer. So this time around, I could immediately realize, I could smile to myself and think, yes, Krishna is giving me a reminder. 10 years later, now you're 58, so better get ready. Next call might be the final one. So let's get more serious, let's get ready, let's keep this in mind. You know, sooner or later we will have to face that final challenge. So, yeah, that was, again, a nice exercise to accept that reminder and again to practice letting go of our plans and simply being willing to accept Krishna's plan. Because that's basically what we will have to do also when it's really the final call. So basically, I simply want to impress on all of you that these so-called calamities, if we actually accept them, you know, in Krishna consciousness, they can be such great stepping stones to advancement. They can be great opportunities. It might externally look all very bad and inauspicious, but no, it is simply a question of how we see things. And basically, to be Krishna conscious means that any situation we can connect with seeing Krishna behind that. That we can see Krishna's arrangement. Krishna has his hand there. He is behind that. He wants to teach us something. He wants to warn us. That's basically what it means to be Krishna conscious, to see any situation with Krishna behind it. And that, of course, requires faith. It requires faith that, yes, Krishna is there. I mean, in my case, maybe it was not so difficult to see Krishna there because I really felt he was catching me and making me go through this surgery in an early stage. So maybe in other devotees' lives, it seems like, oh, it is too late or something. But even that, if we look at it more deeply, it is also Krishna's arrangement. You know, maybe Krishna sees no need for first call, second call, final call. Maybe we are immediately at the first call, we are ready to let go and leave this world. So Krishna has his plans. So it requires faith. Without faith in Krishna, then we will get all disturbed. Sometimes I have seen devotees even being angry with Krishna. Oh, I have chanted 35 years Hare Krishna, and now Krishna is giving me this. What is this? Maybe he's not even existing. But that is a very external, very mundane view of things. Actually, behind that attitude, there is a business deal with Krishna. Okay, I chant Hare Krishna, and I serve you, and you, Krishna, you give me a pleasant life in this world. We are trying to make a business deal with Krishna. And when our life in this world is not so pleasant, then we think, oh, Krishna, what are you doing? You're not keeping to your business deal here. So, but that is a very mundane vision, very mundane. Devotee sees behind every calamity Krishna's hand, and how Krishna is actually mercifully trying to teach us something. And if we have that vision, then even such seemingly inauspicious calamities like the diagnosis of cancer can be very auspicious and really help us to develop our faith in Krishna. And to finish off, I would like to share one little comment from Prabhupada's purport from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 4, 186. Prabhupada says there, it is said that when one sees apparent unhappiness or distress in a perfect Vaishnava, it is not at all unhappiness for him. Rather, it is transcendental bliss. So this is quite a deep point, that when a devotee faces seemingly unhappiness or distress, because he has this mood of putting himself into Krishna's hands, Krishna reveals himself more tangibly to such a devotee. He shows himself more there. And that's what gives a devotee actually happiness, joy. So it is quite an amazing thing that if we have this mood when facing all kinds of calamities, we can actually experience that, yes, Krishna consciousness works. Krishna consciousness gives us a higher level of happiness which cannot be taken by anything or anybody, even not by death, even not by cancer. But no, it is the opposite, that the seemingly distressing situations, if we use them to take more tightly shelter, then Krishna reciprocates and he is more tangibly present, and that gives a devotee steady happiness and joy even in the midst of facing calamities. So I simply thought I'd share this with you, hoping that maybe if you know somebody or if you yourself might be in that situation that you're facing such diagnosis as cancer, that it might help you and inspire you to take that calamity as a great opportunity to deepen your faith in Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.